Oh my god, I'm live. I'm live. Yes. It said I'm live because it said I'm live. I'm live. Yeah. Live. Hello. I suppose I'll have to turn the music off now then, won't I? Turn my music off. Turn it down. Because you won't be allowed to have that, probably, with YouTube. YouTube won't let me just continue to play my... Probably won't allow that. I wonder if I can get away with it in the background. Yeah. God, skin. Ugh. Right, hello. Yes. Whatever. I am now going to give you a instructional course on using my sewing machine. This cheap Chinese sewing machine. I'm going to use this to fix a hole in some of my really old and probably should be thrown out canvas stuff. No, somebody says Big Creator live. Yeah, live. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just experimenting with it, really. But here we are. I have a pair of camos, which are good for caving and gardening and stuff like that. They're pretty scruffy. Lost a lot of colour. But the worst bit is they had a bit of a problem in the crotch area. Believe it or not, there's a bit of a crotch problem. Yes, it's like, hello. Yeah, not very good, is it? Right, now these are literally sort of scuddy stuff, so I'm not going to do an amazing job on these. These are not for, it's not for television. These are just, old things. So what you have to do is turn everything inside out so you can see the seams. You can see here that the seams... Hey, Ghost Catcher and Brady Alex. Hey, nice one. Yeah, you can see the seams there. So I'm going to get some cotton from the Magic Emporium of Cotton, which happens to be this box over here. And we're going to find a way to set up this machine and just do a couple of stitches back and forth. And it won't take long. Preparation is everything. Preparation really is everything. Because you'll spend ages and ages setting up the machine and getting it all ready for just a few moments of... Here we go. So if you've got a sewing machine, you never knew how these things worked. Basically what you do is you have to make sure you've got some cotton in your lower receiver, which I appear to have. So you can take out the lower receiver, and yeah, we've got some cotton in there, and that's okay. So pop that back in. Now if you were wanting to make sure it's the right colour or the right garment, you're in the wrong place. This is Rough and Ready, some camos. We don't care what cotton we use. We don't care what needles we use. We're gonna stitch like we ain't got nothing better to do. This is one of the worst jobs in the world. I hate this. I hate having to do it because you've got to get all the equipment out. You've got to get a plate out to sort of level on the bed. You know, you got to put something level. I mean, I could put it on a table downstairs, but you know, c'est la vie. I wouldn't have the cameras then, would I? So I've got to do it up here in the room. Yeah, you love my vids. Great, thank you. Ghost cat j. I can't work out how you spell that. That's really weird. Right, so the trick is, it's like I used to be a projectionist, by the way. I don't know if you know this. I used to actually show films in cinemas, and I'm very interested in lacing things. There is a procedure, and it's not very well told or explained in the instruction manuals, but it's much easier to show somebody. So I thought I'd show you how it works. You basically have to go round, or well, let's get it through there. We have to return the needle to the highest position first, so it's up here, and this means that the bobbin head, as you can see here, you see, when we return it to its highest position, the bobbin head will also come up to the top. So it's kind of, you know, get the bobbin up the top. So we've gone through there, we've pulled it through this. Now I've got to remember how to do this. It's kind of like it's a Zen thing. Okay, it's got to come through the. Oh, I've messed up already. Look, I've gone through there. Right, hang on. Right. So I've got to come through these two little plates, which are pressure tension. It's called tension, upper tension. Right, so I've got to come through there and down. And it shows you, there's a diagram of the way it's meant to go. So you've got to come up, around the back, through the little horse thingy, right, down. Hang on, glasses time. Yeah, I'm getting a bit old now. Right, round this thing. So basically, we come out of the cot thing, down through the upper tensioner, down around this thing, up over the horse, back down through this little clip here, and now we're going to thread it. I'm just hoping this is not going to be YouTube's first ever needle through finger on camera live. I hope it's not going to be one of those, although it probably would get some more views. Yeah, if it did. So getting the old needle threaded is not easy, especially when you've had a drink and your eyes are a bit left and right cockeyed. There we are. So you put your thread through. So the thread has come all the way and then through, and then you pull the two threads to the back. That's what I do. And you have to start on something. So well, we have a piece. So we start on this piece. So we prepare it by presenting both pieces of the fabric up, flat, and in a direction of travel that we will like to work. So I will go from easy to hard. So I'm going to go from the soft part of the fabric through to the knotted bit in the middle. So I'm going to go through there. So okay, so we're going to put this up here, way beyond where we're actually going to work, and we drop the shoe down so it holds it in place. I get my foot on the ujima thing, and we see if we can actually get some sort of motion. Now the stitch width is 3. So what's this doing? Is this on? This is on zigzag, I think. It's on zigzag setting, so it's going to go back and forth. It's on C, which is that. So it's a zigzag setting, and the stitch width is wide. So it's going to do one of these types of ziggy-zaggy stitches, which is how the original people who made this in China made these clothes in the first place. So let's give it a go. Ready? Okay, now you can get the material together, prepare it in a straight line. Reverse. If you hold this down and you press, it'll now go in reverse. Okay. I'm going to take that out and see whether or not we actually got a stitch there. Yeah, we did. It's stitched. It's stitched. Look, proof, human proof. It's stitched. Messy, but I mean, it's messy, but I mean, look at, you know, wow, it is what it is. Let's have another go. So have we got any holes that we can feel? So are there any holes in here that we need to get rid of? Ooh, that's nearly got rid of the holes. So it's nearly all good. So what I'm going to do is, because it looks like it's all good, I'm going to put these straight line seams here. I'm going to put these straight line seams down, and I'm going to run them again, and I'm going to run that seam as well. So basically, then there should be, you know, everything connected. So we'll try that. So let's see what happens. I'm going to manually remove this, because when it went over the knot bit was a bit hard and a bit high, so it had to run over that knot bit. So I'm going to manually remove that. But looks okay. I think that was basically the problem. So I've stitched that there. Is there any other bits that need doing? Like I said, I wasn't sure about some of these, but I'm going to run the whole line then. Okay, let's do the whole line. Just put a whole line down on top of the existing line, just for extra sort of protection in that area. So ready? You notice when you get to the bumpy bits, the bump bits, you have to actually pull through. So you're actually pulling from the back, but don't get your fingers in front of the needle, of course. There we go. And that's how you do it. Now, what's going on here? We've got two bits of something. Surely we should only have one. It's just a decoy. Right. Do I know Anonymous? If I did, would I tell you? So we got in channel then. We got Ghost Catcher. We actually got people. Oh, this is amazing. We got 9 people. This is crazy, guys. It's crazy. Like, you know, I'm just settling down before I go to bed, and I thought I'm gonna do these because they've been sitting. I put things in awkward positions so that I have to do them. Right. So in the case of these they've been in a position outside my door, and every time I go past, I must look at them. So in the end, I decided, you know, let's do it. Let's just, you know, fix the things that I've been saying I was going to do. Let's just go and do it. And even though I was tired and just about ready to go to bed, I thought, no, let's go and do it. Let's do it before I go to bed. And then I can wake up in the morning and these will no longer be in the primary position, which they've been in for about 2 months, believe it or not. 2 months, just sitting there, just like, do me. And it's like, oh, and I'm avoiding it. Like, I'll do it tomorrow. So now I'm going to have a piece of fresh air and space where these things were hanging to remind me to do them. So that's quite good. Positive. Now, I did have some other stuff I wanted to do, but unfortunately, I think I mixed up my washing cycles. Isn't that amazing? Washing cycles. So the stuff that I wanted to do is in the wash and wet, so can't be done. So I'll have to do that tomorrow. But yeah, that in principle is how you use a sewing machine, I think, because I wasn't taught. Basically, I picked this stuff up myself from watching my gran doing her sewing, and then basically I just sort of went, oh, I know how this works, and just jumped on and did it as good as my gran and better, because I learned the functions that her sewing machine that she didn't know. But there we go. I'm sure you wouldn't like somebody jumping in the cockpit seat of a 747 pilot and it's like, it's okay, I'll take over. I think I know what I'm doing. You can go home now. Right, so I've done it. It's taken me absolutely forever, 2 months, but I've finally done it. And that's it. It's all preparation for just a few moments of sewing madness. And then the sewing machine will go back in its box and go back into storage and will probably not be seen for another couple of months. And how much shall I pay for this marvel of technology? I think it was about £40 in Lidl's. 40. You know, that's like two tickets to the cinema, or 40 quid for a sewing machine like this, right? How can people produce something like this for £40? It's amazing. What have we got then? So little Casherico says, I subbed you back in 2013. Oh, thanks, mate. Nice. What's the best channel on YouTube? I think you should check out Ali Law. Ali Law has got some great videos which are really exciting, getting into places he shouldn't be and then escaping, and just some amazing views, and he climbs buildings and things. It's great. I've been on YouTube for 14 years, Ghost Kadja says. Oh, that's 14 years. That's amazing. God. I wish my broadband was faster back then. I could have uploaded lots more material. But yeah, things have got better in YouTube. It used to be you could only upload 15-minute clips. Of course, now I can upload unlimited in HD and VR, whatever. It's amazing. So, excuse me whilst I unplug the little baby. By the way, when I got this lovely little sewing machine, it wasn't working because one of these screws wasn't tightened. And it's a funny thing because I said to myself, I think that the people who sent this out in China, they have to leave one little thing wrong on these, because if you don't know what you're doing and you're using a sewing machine, you shouldn't really be using the sewing machine. So although it looks kind of, simplistic with a few controls on the outside, what's inside is really complicated. But I kind of think that their little joke was that under here in the front, that basically there was one screw wasn't done up, so there was a shaft that was sliding up and down, and I worked that out within seconds of getting it. And I thought, I wonder whether they realized that they'd made the mistake, or I wonder whether they leave one little thing in there for their customers You know, on every model, there's one little thing that's not right on each one. I had this kind of like sort of superstitious kind of voice in my head that told me that these poor workers in China who probably made this for, I mean, I paid 40 quid for it. So Lidl's paid their supplier 20 quid for it. And, you know, what, like, how the hell can you make something like that, you know, for that amount of money? Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. I mean, and it works, but you have to have a brain. Because if I hadn't had a brain, then that piece which wasn't tightened would have failed really quickly, and I had to have taken it back. So I don't know what the deal is really. It's like the biggest bargain of the century, as far as I'm concerned, a £40 sewing machine, brand new, and worked once it was helped to be screwed tight. But yeah, I mean, what is it like, you know, to work as a Chinese labourer, you know, or a Taiwanese factory line person? I mean, yeah, they ain't getting paid much money. They are not getting paid much money. So, right, way up. Right, sorry about the noise. That's just me chucking all the crap back in the box. Oh, so I'm just trying to sort of, I've got to keep, hello, wow. Yeah, don't forget to put these back in there. Heavy old beast. That's why I don't use it, or I avoid using it, because you have to lift it down, get it all together. It takes a long time to get that thing ready. And yeah, sewing machines, they're fine pieces of equipment, but they also require a little bit of maintenance by the user, I find. Does anybody else find that you need to they need to kind of work on the sewing machines, or does the sewing machine just work forever and has never gone wrong? I find you constantly have to get in there and tweak them and clean them and grease them and oil them and things to keep them working properly. They're clockwork, you know. They're kind of a clockwork electric machine, so you know they need to be kind of oiled. But yeah, that doesn't happen very often. But yeah. So let's have a look at what you've been saying in channel. Let's see. What's the best computer? Well, I quite like Dell's. And I've got a big Dell Beast here. It's a Xeon dual hex core. So it's got 12 cores, 12 processing cores with hyperthreading. So it appears as 24. 24 processors I have access to. God, this light really does bring up your skin, doesn't it? Makes you look like, oh dear, oh look, God, it really is bad. You see, when you have Matt live on YouTube late at night after he's just come out of the bath and he hasn't got his makeup on or anything like that, this is the reality show now. This is the real deal. So let's have a look. Yeah, good for you. Get your shit done, Sam D says. Thank you. I love the random concept. My Apple iTunes account got blocked. I don't know why. Well, it might be to do with the fact that you were using Apple iTunes in the first place. You know, if you use Apple iTunes and Apple products, then, you know, things will happen. And unfortunately, because you're, you know, not interested in learning about why these things actually take place, this will probably be a mystery to you. So I suggest that probably the best thing you can do is either buy a completely new Apple product, which is more expensive, or blame it on yourself, not the product, because that's Apple's way. Yeah. Do I fancy Ali Law? No, I really don't fancy Ali Law at all. He's a ginger. He's a ginger. Yeah. No, he's well, I don't know. Would I fancy Ali Law? Not really. Not really. But the thing is, that applies to everybody, really, with me, because the only times I fancy people are when I get to know them. So if I knew Ali Law, then I might start to fancy him. But I don't actually know him personally, so therefore I would not fancy him. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for taking me down that really trollish avenue of questioning, which I could have just avoided and ignored and pretended I didn't see, but this is my channel after all. Yeah. I do like what Ali's done with his life, and he's a very fit guy. I mean, I think the concept of what's it say? Do I like Ali Law? Or do I fancy Ali Law? Fancy Ali Law? Nah, not really. Not really. No. Maybe maybe you should just leave that one alone. Right, where's my snuff? Where's my snuff? Here we are, Radford snuff. This is strong. This is strong. So I've run out of my normal stuff, and I found this. Oh, and it is a beast. It is a beast. Slightly larger granules. Don't you see? Lightly sniffed to here. Not to the back of the throat. We're not in Germany. This is not a competition. Yeah, it's like it's supposed to be here. Yeah, nice. But what have we got then? Remember that video about dubstep you created for me back in 2015? No, I don't actually. Send me a link. Is Miles Johnson the most eccentric person you know? No, probably not actually, because being au fait with the Bristol party scene and having worked in nightclubs doing lighting and things like that for quite some time. So that was my last, believe it or not, that was my last can of alcohol. So I'm now on to my prepared, I prepare bottles of Vimto, pre-prepared from the cordial down, and I put them back in the bottles, and then I can just have myself a nice Vimto, which has sucralose in it, which is a sweetener, which I accept because I do not accept aspartame and a self-MK, but sucralose is okay. Sucralose is not too bad. So I have that, and yeah, this is how I managed to stay moist. This is how I'm moist right now, is through yes, that. So what have we got coming up? It's going to be an interesting summer for crop circles this year. It's going to be a very interesting year, I think. I'm going to give you that little clue. A number of things have been planned, yeah, and it will get very, very interesting. So, yeah, look, I've got a business card here of a certain person who had a UFO sighting, who's a director of a company. I don't want to give his number out, but Mr. Tim Brannan of Midwest, I think it's called. Air Midwest. I am correct. It's Air Midwest at Wolverhampton Airport, and had a UFO sighting. So let's clean in front of me, and Dell, yes, V Sexton says they like Dell too. Well, the thing I think about Dell is that they don't restrict the motherboards to not take certain amounts of memory. You can like up the memory, and you can there's no kind of caveats. It's kind of like it just works. Whereas like Hewlett Packard, there's loads of caveats. They put in locks and things. So you put in a card and the card doesn't work, and then you find out, oh yeah, they don't take that type of card. They're not. Then they'll do that. They don't do this thing, and they can't do that, and they can't do this. And it's like, so yeah, Hewlett Packard, waste of time. But if you had side by side machines, Hewlett Packard and a Dell, I'd say most of the Dells are designed with keeping it quiet, hearing in mind, making sure that you don't hear what's going on. Now, my machine that's down there, which is a 6-core Xeon, it's not the Beast, which is down here, which I haven't got fired up at the moment. This machine, oops, come on, skew it. This machine is really quiet, and I've done it. I've got an Octua. I don't know if you're Noctua fan in it, and I've got the side off, and basically this thing can be processing and rendering video, and you can't really hear it at all. Even when I'm sort of like doing a live stream, if I take it down now, if I take the sound down, I can hear the sound of the water filling in my immersion heater more than I can the fan on my computer. And that's how it should be. It's like for sanity reasons. But my new Beast has problems because the BIOS spins the fans up too much. When it detects heat, it doesn't just turn the fans up a bit, it goes rah. And for this reason, I haven't put my Beast into service yet, because I cannot handle the amount of noise that comes out of this thing, and it's ruthless. So I've got some fan software which will allow me to map the temperatures and try and cool this down a bit. And I've also ordered some heatsink paste to see whether I can cool the process a bit more. Anyway, I digress. But that's about the only sort of news really I've got is just, computers. That is what I do. That is my thing, computers. Yeah. Yes. So he says, I drink Budweiser. You need a cravat to go with that dressing gown for the full Hugh Hefner look. Actually, saying that, I haven't got it. I haven't got it here. Oh, where is it? Where is it? Somewhere, I do actually have a smoking jacket that somebody left. Somebody left, and hang on. Let me see if I can find it. It's unlikely I'll find it. Let's see if I can find it. Smoking jacket. No. Ah, hang on. What's this? This is indeed possibly the thing I'm talking about. Is it? Or am I imagining it? No, it is. It's a smoking jacket. St. Michael's. So it's a Marks and Spencer's. Somebody left this in the house, and they said, "Oh, just hang on to it." Like, hang on. Is it possible to put that on? I don't know. Right. Excuse me. I'm gonna decant a minute. Whoops. That's what happens when you. Right. I'm gonna put a smoking jacket on instead. See what goes on here. So there we are. Now I have a smoking jacket on. There we go. And I managed to knock over a 100 spindle of CDs and DVDs, which I now put back into order. They're all stacked over there. Got CDs and DVDs all over the place now. So anyway, we'll have to draw this to a close before too long, I'm sure, because I'm not entirely sure that the thread of what I'm doing is going to engender enough attention that people want. Right, so what do you do with this then? How do you do this? I think I'm supposed to have some sort of belt, but I haven't got it. There we are. So it's matte with smoking jacket on. Yes, and my thermals, my very sexy thermals. Sorry. Yeah. Oh God. Needs must. Sexy. Oh yeah. Proper sexy. If that doesn't turn you off, nothing will. Right. So yeah, good stuff. But anyway, yeah, it means I don't have to burn so many electrons in order to stay warm if I use things like clothes rather than electric. So yeah, smoking jacket. What's all that about? It's quite nice. It's got plaid sort of plaid design. I'm not even sure if this is in. I think this is in. I think it's the wrong way around. I think it's inside out. Could it be inside out? Could I actually have a smoking jacket on inside out? Probably. Yeah. Give us a flash. Really? No. Yeah. No. You wouldn't like it. The mic is too loud. You say my mic is too loud. Really? Whoa. Okay. I don't know about that because normally comes in about 12 dBs. So it's not redlining. And I've got an actual mixing desk down there where I can see the little VU meters going up and down. So yes, it comes into there. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe not. I don't know. But anyway, so let's have a quick look. Just make sure I haven't missed anything really. Is Miles Johnson the most eccentric person you know? No, because at the party scene, I do know people who have weird fetishes and things like that. And I've been to clubs where people do strange things. And I've not really gone to those clubs, for the reasons that the people that I know are there. I've gone to these clubs because we're putting on other nights in them. But yeah, bondage clubs and things like that. But I know people who actually run bondage clubs, and I would say they're probably the most eccentric people I know. Probably more so than even Miles Johnson. Because you can believe whatever you want to believe, and that's fine, because sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. So whatever goes on inside your thought processes, it shouldn't really hurt you. But I think that the people who go into these clubs and have people doing whipping and things like that to them, which not my thing, if they're into that sort of thing, fine. But yeah, I know a lot more what I would class as eccentric people with out there approaches than Mr. Miles, because they're actually getting the physical hits rather than the mental traffic, and I think that is probably a little bit more permanent. So yeah, right. Yeah. So it won't let me put the link in the chat, which is called Dubstep is Rancid Shit With Your Noise. Yes, I remember Dubstep is Rancid Shit With Your Noise. I remember that. I remember the title, but I can't remember what I did. I probably emulated dubstep, sort of going, like, I'm not going to do it now, but I probably went like dun 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 dun, yeah, and that sort of thing. And yeah, I'm not going to do it now though. Why would I do that? Come watch the original video. Right. Yeah, somebody else said the mic is pretty quiet. He says they want reverb. He says, no, it was actually his volume was too loud. Wow, we're getting to this level. Can I do the King? The King. Oh, you mean Elvis? Not really. Viva Las Vegas. That's about it. That's all I can do. The Bondage Club is that Labour Party. Gary King. Yeah, Gary King. Yeah, that's right. The head of the Bondage Club of the United Kingdom, BDSM, Gary King. Mr. Gary King. Yeah, right. No, they're a bit extreme, those sorts of people, and yeah, yeah. I can think of better things to do with my time than having people physically assault me with weaponry and whips and chains and things like that. Yeah, not my cup of tea. But on that note, I think it's probably time to say where have we been? Well, 40 minutes. What do I think of Asus ROG Strict laptops? I don't know because I've not used one, but are they the ones with the big coloured lights on them? I mean, the trouble with laptops is cooling. It's always going to be cooling. It's how do you get the air to the processor to cool it without making a lot of noise. So that's why I'm not a great fan of laptops. But, you know, big old computers are pretty good, but laptops, yeah. Yeah. So anyway, so thanks very much for tuning in. We've got 13 people here now. And did I watch the Christchurch shooting video? No, I understand that there were some people mowed down in churches in New Zealand. Yeah. I haven't watched it. No, I didn't know it was available, but I understand somebody was live streaming when they did it. So, oh God, this means that there's another thing that could potentially be out there on the internet to break my mind, which is pretty much at this point in 100 shards. So yeah, okay. Thanks very much. Sorry I didn't shave. I had a bath, but it wasn't a shave night. It was just a bath night because I'd been out doing some sweaty stuff this afternoon, which will be edited up and on the Secret Vault for you later on. So, look, matron. I'll catch you later on. Thanks very much for watching.